from my first session with you, I just felt a complete release in my body, like a complete relaxation from head to toe, which I have not felt in a long time. Everything just felt like it was settling in my body. Oh my God, just the energy that I have back from not being in pain all the time. I think it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to normalize pain and get used to that feeling of walking around with like that stabbing pain in my leg and that shooting pain and like the lower back. And it just becomes a part of life that I forget how much energy it takes and how draining it is. And now every time I walk out of your office, I just feel like, I'm ready to take on the day. I'm ready to take on my week. Thank you for getting me out of pain.
Can you describe what you were experiencing before you started care with us?
Yes, I had debilitating sciatic pain. It was down my left side, I believe, and it was keeping me from everything that a human body needs to do. Sitting, standing, laying down, everything was painful. And I was really worried about it because it was acting up again right before I was to start a new job. So I needed a chiropractor.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be able to have you in the practice and be able to support your body starting that new job. And what were some other ways you were trying to fix these problems that you were having?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm a former massage therapist, so I was doing everything that I knew in the book, from rolling on lacrosse balls and foam rolling, stretching, walking. Actually, at times, like in the way I was walking seemed to help, but you can't walk all day, obviously. Heating pads, ice, more activity, less activity, Advil, Tylenol. Yeah, that's everything that I could think of. I just threw at it.
Yeah, and it's difficult when you're trying everything and still not getting to the root cause of the issue to like totally have it resolve. And so how confident were you that you could have these issues resolved?
Well, I had had chiropractic care for about a year and a half, 2 or 3 years prior, and it was the torque release technique. And I knew that there was some relief to be had there, but when I hadn't had it for so long and it came back, it got me worried about would I be able to find relief again and how long term would it be.
Yeah, and what made you finally decide to make a change and start getting care with us?
It was starting that new job and knowing that I had to sit in a chair again, and really worried that that would keep me from being able to make a living. That's what made me pick up the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one. And so after starting care, how would you describe the change that you saw?
Well, from my first session with you, I just felt a complete release in my body, like a complete relaxation from head to toe, which I have not felt in a long time. Just from those 2 or 3 gentle adjustments, everything just felt like it was settling in my body. And it did not take long. Like maybe I was coming about 3 times a week to start with. And within a couple of weeks, I would say, I just was like, I'm going to be okay. I can feel that I'm going to be okay. And that's remained true.
Yeah, love that. Love being able to feel that hope for healing that you were experiencing. That was amazing. And so if you had to tell someone the best thing that has happened since being under care with us, what would you say?
Oh my God, just the energy that I have back from not being in pain all the time. I think it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to normalize pain and get used to that feeling of walking around with like that stabbing pain in my leg and that shooting pain and like the lower back. And it just becomes a part of life that I forget how much energy it takes and how draining it is. And now every time I walk out of your office, I just feel like, I'm ready to take on the day. I'm ready to take on my week. And I have more energy for my life instead of managing pain in the background.
Awesome. And how would you describe the experience of working with us?
So good, Tom. So good. And I say that as someone with a history of bad experiences with chiropractors, with trauma on the table. And I have felt so safe and so comfortable coming into the office, having you guide me through what's going to happen, your actual touch, just so settling. And I love walking in and seeing kids and families have that same experiences because kids don't lie. And they know exactly when kids hop up on the table, and I know they're not all like that, but I've seen you work with infants and toddlers and 5-year-olds, and I love watching how much they enjoy getting this work done and specifically connecting with you. And that also is a part, I think, of settling my nervous system and healing, because if I walk in tense and scared or apprehensive, doesn't matter how many adjustments I'm going to get, like it's not going to be the same. It's not going to stay in the body the same way.
Yeah, totally well said. Were there any specific moments or aspects of our service that really stood out to you?
You know, I remember talking to you on the phone before I even came in, and how patient you were with all of my questions, just taking the time to reassure me because I was so nervous about coming in. And that initial phone call really opened the door for me to say, I think that this is going to be a good place. This is someone that I want to talk to more and spend more time with. And that continued like in your office and the intake and our first tests. Like you were just very understanding about what it's like to be in pain and how long the process, honest about how long the process takes. So I was prepared for that time. And that really stood out to me as a great beginning that hasn't been disappointing.
Awesome. And how do you feel like our specific approach has helped you begin to heal effectively?
Well, I don't like the typical chiropractics of like the head, the neck going backwards and the leaning on the body and wiggle your toes while I do this to your, like, it's very disorienting and it comes across to me as a boundary violation. So what I love about the torque release technique is how gentle and non-invasive it feels. The slight pushing on the ankles and those gentle adjustments. I didn't think that so much change could happen from like 2 or 3 pops with a little tool. So that's been really important for me to have a technique that works for my body with a practitioner that works for my body.
Yeah, it's amazing how so little input can be so impactful when it's such a gentle approach, but that's why a lot of people do like it. And so, to wrap it all up, what would you say to another person who's in the same position you were in and they're trying to decide if they want to try chiropractic care?
Yeah, I would say just go in and meet Tom and find out what it is that he does, get an adjustment, and it's so low risk to go in for such a big return. So I would feel comfortable recommending you and your practice to my family and closest friends, knowing that they're in good hands.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate the compliment. And I love having your trust in the practice to take care of your body so that you can heal and function appropriately and take on the world. Thank you so much.